Okay, well, once again, thank you everybody for joining me today. I'm Warren. I will be your host. Today's topic is all about transport and directions. Okay. Now, this conference will be suitable for anyone A1 to A2 level. If I could get everyone to confirm their level just in the chat box over here, you can type, A1, A2, A0, and if I need to adapt some language as we go, I can do that as well. Great, I can see people doing that. Thank you so much. For the people whose first time it is attending a conference, if you have any questions at all, you can type them in the chat box. Okay. The conference will be in English. There will be some French translations as we go, but it will be predominantly in English. So if you have any questions, please write them in the chat box and I will address them as soon as I can. Okay. And for the people who just joined us there, hi, welcome. If you can switch off your microphone, that would be much appreciated. Okay. Great. So everybody ready? Can we begin? Great. Thank you. I see some thumbs. Wonderful. So today's title, On the Move, Expressions for Transport and Directions. Okay. I'm going to teach you some vocabulary relating to everyday transportation, the different kinds of transport we take to work, to school, to go out socially. We'll also talk about other vehicles and other means of transport. There will be a little bit of grammar in this conference. I will teach you how to use prepositions when it comes to transport. And last, but certainly not least, how to give directions. Okay, so there's going to be quite a lot of vocabulary, a lot of expressions today. So as I say, if you have any questions, just send a message in the chat box. So let's begin. So I should say once again, welcome to On the Move, Expressions for Transport and Directions. In our journey today, we will explore the language we use in our daily lives to talk about transportation and directions. You're going to hear a couple of expressions quite a lot throughout this conference today. You're going to hear me say to get around, se déplacer, and modes of transport, les modes de transport. You're going to hear me say these terms quite a lot. Okay, so to get around and modes of transport. Now, getting around, see, I told you I would use it. Getting around in daily life is essential, of course. Together, let's explore some common modes of transportation. We have a list here. Now, very common vehicles. Number one, of course, car, or cars for plural. Okay. Me personally, I live in a very big city, so I don't drive that much, and I also work from home, which is very nice, so I don't need to drive that regularly. Bicycle, or bicycles for plural. You can also say bike here as well. Okay, bicycle, bike, the same thing. Bus, or buses for the plural. Walking, to commute or travel by foot. If you are very rich, taxi, if you have lots of money. Or taxis for the plural. Tram, You might also say tramway, like you would in French as well. We also use this in English. My city doesn't personally have them, but the city I was born in Edinburgh, does. Train, pretty much the same in French. Train. And last but not least, underground. This is very commonly used in the UK, more British English. And subway, more American English. Now, I will say sometimes in English, it depends on the city, but sometimes we say metro as well. So for example, if you are in New York, you might hear the term metro. If you're in Hong Kong, you might hear metro as well. And as I say, the French translations are here for everyone as well. So we have cars, bicycles, buses, walking or by foot, taxis, tram, train, underground, or subway. You can say both. Now, here is an example of a commute to work. This is a great word. Commute can be used as a noun, can also be used as a verb. Okay? You might say, I ride my bike for 10 minutes. So from my home to my office or my home to my school, it takes 10 minutes. I ride my bike for 10 minutes. Or, I take the train to Paris. I walk for 3 minutes from the train station to the bus station. The last one there. I take the bus at 9 a.m. So we have a few different verbs in there. So we have ride, for ride my bike. Okay. Take, for take the train. And walk, simply, by foot. And take the bus. And if you are, as I was joking earlier, if you have money and you take taxis, you can say, take a taxi, take an Uber, for example, as well. Okay. So different language there to talk about your commute to work or school. Now, I've included here some other verbs as well, okay, related to driving and related to cycling. For driving, of course, to drive, conduire. To turn, tourner, it's quite similar there. To park. To park. To stop. And to start. Okay, so 5 important verbs there for anyone who drives here, any chauffeurs here. To drive, to turn, to park, to stop, and to start. For those that ride a bike or for those who cycle, to ride, to pedal, to cycle. Let's continue, shall we? For those who like to walk, there's a few verbs we can use here. Predominantly, walk is the most common if you're talking about, going to work or school. I walk to work. I walk to school every day. If you walk for leisure, so promener, you can say to stroll. Okay, to stroll. Another one for leisure, but more, in the mountains or in the countryside, to hike as well. Randonnée, to hike. And last up again there, using public transportation, you can use the verbs to take, Okay, to take a bus, to take a train. You can also say to take a taxi. You can say to ride a tram, ride a taxi. To be fair, you can also say take with these as well. Okay. To get on the bus or the train, and to get off a bus or train. So far, so good. It's quite a lot of vocabulary. Everybody is with me. Great. Wonderful. So, we're going to do something for fun here. Okay, now it's over to you. Okay, what I would like everybody to do is I'd like you to complete the sentences with the words on the right. Now, how can you do this? Okay, so what I will say here is in the chat box, you can type. So for the first sentence, you can type, for example, B, the next D, the next E, and so on. Okay, now that's not the correct answers, just to be clear. It's just an example. But if you type the answers just in the chat box there, I'll give you just a couple of minutes to do that. That would be great. Okay. So I drive to work in my blank every day. I ride on weekends. I drive to the park or go something when the weather is nice. Something are fast in the city. Something are like buses on tracks. Something take people to other cities and countries. So what do we think? I can see some answers coming in. Thank you, Christine. Yeah. Delphine as well. Yeah. Fasmia. Yeah, thank you so much. Give you another 15 seconds. Maybe 20. Okay. Thank you. I can see them all coming in now. Okay. Thanks everyone for answering those there. Let's check the answers together, shall we? So, we have, I drive to work in my, of course, car every day. I ride my bicycle on weekends. I drive to the park or go by foot when the weather is nice. Taxis are fast in the city. You could also say buses, I guess. Trams are like buses on tracks, and trains take people to other cities and countries. See, we have a guest who's joined us. Okay, thank you, everyone. That was great. Let's move on, shall we? So, using prepositions. Okay. So, let me just get this here. There we go. Okay. So, using prepositions. So, everybody, I'm going to teach you 3 prepositions that we mostly use when talking about transport. Okay. You will have heard of these prepositions before in many other contexts. Okay. But I will show you today how to use by, on, and in. Let's start with by. So when talking about general ways to travel, we tend to use the preposition by. We can travel by bike, by motorcycle, by car, by truck, by train, by plane, etc., by bus, etc., etc. Okay? So this one here is really, really commonly used. So I go to work by bike. I go to school by bus. for example. Okay. In. Now, with this one here, the simple rule is if you must sit inside the vehicle, we use in. For example, in a car, in a truck, in a helicopter. Meaning all of these is impossible, realistically, to stand in them. So for example, if your boss calls you, I know you shouldn't answer the phone when you're driving, but hands-free set or something, you could say, hey, I'm in the car just now. Okay. So that's in. Let's take a look at on. I get asked about this all the time. Okay, why do we say on with certain modes of transport? Basically, the rule is, as I said before, in if you cannot stand up, but on if you can, even when they are in motion. For example, on a plane, on a tram, on a ferry. You can use this for, on a train as well. So the final point there is if we actually sit or stand upon the top of the vehicle, we can also say that we're on it as well. Okay, so if you are, let's imagine this is the car and you're sitting literally on the car, you can say that, but it's not that common, I guess, right? So what we could also say then, we would use on for a bicycle, on a motorcycle, and even a surfboard as well. So we have by, in, on. Over to you for the last one here. Okay, I want you to complete these sentences here with the correct preposition. So we have on, in, and two bys. I'll give you just a minute. Same instruction as before. Type the letters in the chat box. Thank you, Geraldine. They're coming in. So yep, I drive to work something, my car every day. I go to school, something, bicycle. I drive to the park or go foot when the weather is nice. I am something, subway. See the answers coming in. I'll give you another 10, 15 seconds. Thank you, Patrice. Thank you, Vasme. Thank you, Faustine. Delphine as well. Thank you. Okay, everyone. Let's check, shall we? I drive to work in my car every day. Okay, I go to school by bicycle. I drive to the park or go by foot when the weather is nice. And I am on the subway. I saw a couple people there at the beginning with by for here. Because we have my, we wouldn't say by my car, in my car. Okay, but you could say I drive to work by car or I go to work by car every day. That works as well. Thanks for your answers, everyone. Let's continue. Giving directions. Not an easy thing to do, even in your own language sometimes. So let's take a look here. So understanding and giving directions is obviously very important in our daily lives. Whether helping a friend find a coffee shop or explaining a new city, knowing how to communicate directions is crucial for getting around easily. Let's see here. So here I've included some images just to show the directions itself. Okay, so there won't be any French translations in this section here. I figured the images will be okay for everyone. The first one we have here, go straight. Go straight on Main Street. Next, turn right on the next corner. Turn right on the next corner. Turn left. Turn left at the supermarket. The last one here, go past. So something is here, to go past. Go past the cinema and you will find the library. So as we can see in the image here, we can imagine that this dot is the cinema. Okay, so go past the cinema and you will find the library. Cross. To cross. If you cross the street, you'll find a bookstore there. Behind, little preposition here, there's a nice park behind the parking lot. Place for parking your car. Okay, behind. Go along. So go along the main road until you find the gas station. This one here is pretty much the same as go straight. Yeah, it's really similar. It's another way of saying it, really. And turn back or go back. If you get to the bridge, you went too far. You'll have to turn back. Okay. Some other ones here. Around the corner. Around the corner. As we can see in the image here, around the corner. The museum is just around the corner. In front of. The market is in front of the city hall. Between my head, between my hands. But between, you can find the coffee shop between the office building and the movie theatre or the cinema. The last one here, near and far. Something is near to you, it's very close. If something is far, it's a long distance away, as we can see in the pictures here. Now, I've included some useful expressions here, and I've included the French translation next to them as well, okay? And everyone will get a copy of this PowerPoint, so you'll have all of the expressions and things like that, and all of the key language from today. But some useful language when it comes to asking for directions, you could say, excuse me, where is the cinema? Where is the park? Where is the hotel? Or excuse me, how do I get to the Empire State Building? How do I get to the Louvre? How do I get to wherever it might be? Excuse me, is there something near here? Is there a metro station near here? A subway station near here? How do I get to? What's the way to? And where is this something located? Where is the bank located? Where is, this restaurant located? All right. And some other expressions here. Turn left at the traffic light. So this is if you are giving directions now. So turn left at the traffic lights. Go straight ahead until you reach the park. You could simply say go straight until you reach the park as well. Ahead just emphasizes the straight part, okay? Take the second right after the school. Cross the bridge and then turn right. Walk past the supermarket on your left, or go past the supermarket on your left. And the last one's here. Go down the street and turn left at the corner. Follow the signs to the train station. Take a U-turn at the next intersection. Head towards the city centre. Head is another word for go. Okay, so go towards the city centre. It's focusing on going forward. Walk along the river until you see the museum on the right. Okay, so 10 useful expressions there for giving directions. So, we're almost at the end of the conference. I'm curious whether or not, do you have any questions, any comments? You can type them in the chat box. You can switch off your microphone. Yeah, share with me if anyone has any questions. I'll just look through the comments in the meantime, just to see if anybody's posted anything there. Nope, just lots of answers for the quiz. Great. Okay, so I'll ask you then. So the conference and the language, everything clear? Any questions on the vocabulary or? Seen Janceline shaking her head. Yeah, it was clear. Great. Thank you, Geraldine. Thank you. Fasmia, you too. Seeing lots of thumbs. Okay, great. Well, in that case, if we have no question, yep, I see one question here. Not sure if it's a mistake. No, that was a mistake. Okay, no problem, no problem. Okay, everyone. Well, in that case, if we do not have any questions, well, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you all. There are a bunch of e-learning modules we have available on the Cercle de Langue e-learning platform. They range from A0 to B1. So you can take a look at these exercises, try them, leave some comments, let us know what you think. We also have an article from the Le Cercle de Langue blog. So you can see them here as well. As I say, everybody will get a copy of this PowerPoint, and there is a couple of YouTube videos there as well for everyone. Okay. So as I say, thank you so much, everyone, for coming today. It's been a real pleasure. I will be doing another conference next week. You can see the schedule available online. And yeah, I wish everyone a good night and hopefully see you all soon. Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Have a
You're
good
welcome. Bye-bye.
night.
Bye.